Ebro sends some vicious shots at the Breakfast Club and Joe Budden.
When Joe Budden took the interview, I left a comment. I said, bro, if you're going to grift hard. Because I know what it was with y'all. He want them Patreon dollars. He want all that. But that's the game. There is no integrity. It's what's going to get clicks.
That's right.
But now that she's sitting up there with Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Jess, hilarious, it's all good. And now we're supposed to get cozy as they giggle about relationships. The reason they have a lot of reach is because they are willing to do this tap dance. I maintain those willing to dance the hardest, tap dance for massa the hardest, will always be given more platform and more outlet. Always. That's a never-ending thing my entire life. When they can find black faces that are willing to play the game.
That's right. On a recent airing of Ebro in the Mornings, Ebro decided to take issue with the way platforms have been interviewing Candace Owens. For those of you that don't know, Joe Budden and The Breakfast Club both interviewed Candace Owens, and Ebro decided to unleash on both Joe Budden and The Breakfast Club. So this basically happens in two parts. There's the criticisms Ebro has for Joe Budden and those he has for The Breakfast Club. The first one in this clip is what he says about Joe Budden. He calls him a grifter. I guess he's trying to insinuate that Joe Budden had Candace Owens on his platform in order to boost the Patreon subscriptions. Well, maybe that's true. I mean, we all know Joe Budden nowadays is playing the game of monetizing his platform the best way he can. And I think that's kind of where he's at. Like, gone are the days of him trying to be as entertaining as he can. I think now he's in a place where he's trying to be as profitable as he can. And now the content maybe isn't as impactful as it once was. Still really good though. But then Ebro migrates his verbal assault to The Breakfast Club. And man, did he really lay into them. At the core of his argument for The Breakfast Club, he was essentially laying out how The Breakfast Club is now trying to be the place to have political discussions and be open to ideologies from both sides. And then things get really nuclear when Rosenberg steps in and says the reason they are being critical is because The Breakfast Club has a lot of reach. And Ebro chimes in and says The Breakfast Club has a lot of reach because they're willing to tap dance. This is what he said. This is what Ebro said. Ebro said it on his show, Ebro in the Mornings. And man, is The Breakfast Club first Hot 97 beef heating up again? I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, Danny, The Breakfast Club is number one. It's so much bigger than, Ebro in the Mornings. Sure it is. Of course it is. It's on in every market that matters. But in New York City, I think a lot of people rock with Ebro in the Mornings. Ebro is very intellectual. He's a very smart guy, very witty dude. Obviously, the entertainment factor of Ebro in the Mornings, I don't think rises to the level of The Breakfast Club, but Ebro is very capable of having very smart conversations. And there is a lot of people on the streets of New York City who prefer Ebro in the Mornings over The Breakfast Club. And Hot 97's ratings, they're not too bad anymore. They're actually doing a good job nowadays. Ever since they got new ownership, they've been moving with a different type of tact and strategy. So as far as New York is concerned, this is certainly an escalation. And I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's the thing, is a lot of people try to say that The Breakfast Club is way bigger than Ebro in the Mornings, and it is, but I mean, the Ebro in the Mornings isn't syndicated, right? It's only on in New York, and it's probably going to stay that way. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like Ebro has a point? Has Joe Budden and Charlamagne made a grave mistake by humanizing Candace Owens? Ebro points out how they're laughing about her relationship. It seems like Ebro has an issue with the agenda that's being pushed forward. as Candace Owens enters these platforms that, you know, just a couple years ago, it would have been crazy for her to be on. Right? Everybody hated Candace Owens, but she somehow has pivoted to being at the top of all of the urban platforms that matter. All right, y'all, that's my video for today. I feel like doing more content about Ebro in the mornings. I think I listen to it often. I think they still make good content as far as radio. As far as their YouTube content, it's pretty trash. But I think that's because their station, whoever owns the station now, is not prioritizing the YouTube. And I think they're just like, hey, man, we put in all of our resources into the radio. We're going to pick better songs to play. We're going to drive the ratings. And now their YouTube channel is in a bit of a down cycle. But I do think there's a certain thing that's going on at Hot 97. And the resurgence is underway, at least on the airwaves. All right, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.